Hello, everyone. I'm Mason Beam with the Wise News Network, and today we have a focus on some good being brought to the community by a group out of Charlotte known as the Bearded Villains. This organization strives to do anything but be villainous, with their most current accomplishment being helping out one of our locals in need. Glenn Hutchings is a veteran who has mobility issues, and they came by this weekend to help him with his home's exterior. Before we get to that, let's hear from Mr. Hutchings on his time in service.
Well, I served in the Air Force for 15 years. I wore headsets all the time. It was the kind of hush-hush job that we had a motto: in God we trust, everybody else we monitor. After high school, I joined the Air Force. I spent a year before I joined. I said, well, I'm going in the Air Force. I might as well enjoy my last summer, So I joined the Air Force, went through basic. Then my tech school was in Pensacola. And then I got switched to San Vito Air Station in Italy. Loved it.
Now that we've heard from Glenn on his experiences, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on what brought the Bearded Villains to his home and how they were able to help. We'll go back to him, then hear from the organization themselves.
I used to have this place looking like a golf course. And my diabetes kicked in and got neuropathy in the legs, 3 hernias. So outside work was done with. My neighbor helps with cutting the grass once in a while. So that helps. Surprised me. All these big men come, take care of my outside. They were cutting, and the city's going to say, hey, what are you doing with all these limbs? I haven't had anybody help me except the Baptist church built the ramp when my wife was alive. She died, a year and a half ago? But she was in a wheelchair and was in a nursing home. And they said she couldn't come home until we built a ramp. So I called around and I found out that the church would do it. My wife couldn't get around. So I had to do everything for her. When she passed, I'm here alone, Yeah. I can't even get to the doctors, the VA, being in Charlotte. Plus I have Bell's palsy. That's why I slur my words, because half my face is paralyzed. I got diabetes too. I can't hear. I can barely see because of the neuropathy and the Bell's palsy. My legs give out, but I've never fallen yet. My hot water heater went out a little over a month ago, so I have to boil water to bathe, to do dishes. I can't afford it on $1,600 a month. How much is a hot water heater? 18, 2,000. I can't save. My electric bill has doubled from 150 to 300 for one person. My cable bill went from 175 to over 200. My taxes on this house went from 335 to 570. So I got to save up for the taxes. Try to save $100 a month. So before September, I have enough to pay the taxes. I can't get my house taken away from me. I'll be homeless. This is my lifeline right here. This is how I get my groceries. This is how I talk to friends from around America, other vets and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, with today, I mean, we just saw a need in our community that needed to get done. Obviously, he wasn't able to do the stuff that we were able to today, so we just took our youthful bodies and we're able to do the work, get everything cleaned up, make it look a lot nicer.
So, Mr. Glenn is my neighbor, and we saw with the events, the microburst that we had last spring, a tree fell down in the back of his yard. So I saw they had need then, and kind of developed that relationship, and realized that he's a veteran and just not physically able to do the work that he needed. So we came out today and cleaned off his roof and trimmed some branches and that sort of thing.
While the villains brought help to Mr. Hutchings today, there are still other issues that both parties have to accommodate for. Glenn has an important first-hand perspective on issues veterans across our nations face. Let's hear from him on that now.
They should help with transportation to get to the VA doctors and hospitals. And I can, because they'll pick me up here and drop me off in Gastonia. A bus will come from Charlotte to Gastonia, but on the way home, I have no way to call them to come pick me up and drive me home. So that's one thing. I think it's around America. It's not just North Carolina. There should be a way to get what benefits we get, and they don't give us any information. I think Trump did better for veterans. Taxes were low, everything was lower. And now living on $1,600, they're like, we're going to raise everything. But they don't give us a raise. Mm-hmm. They don't give us a raise. I think we got a $25 raise this past October. $25. What does that do? Me and the wife, even though I had to do everything, I had to do all the cooking. If she needed a drink, she had respiratory problems. So the doctor in the hospital said, we're going to send her to a nursing home. And what are nursing homes good for? Within 4 days after going into the nursing home, she got COVID. Mm-hmm. With her ARS and trouble breathing, that did it for her. Within a month, she passed away. Yet they call and say, why don't you pay the rest of the hospital bills? I don't got it. I just don't got it. It gets lonely here. I go outside once every 10 days to walk up and get my smokes at the corner store. But other than that, I'm stuck in here.
The Bearded Villains is a widespread organization with chapters across the United States. They do charitable work not just for veterans, but anywhere they can find a need. Our most local chapter is based out of Charlotte, but there are even more in NC alone. Let's hear more about the organization from the Queen City chapter now.
Yeah, so we're a brotherhood that the biggest thing that I would say that unites us is just that we have a beard. So we come from all kind of different paths in life, and but we've built a brotherhood around that, and then we just do a lot of things community wise, and then typically we build in some kind of like fellowship through that. So we'll do an event and do lunch afterwards or something like that. So we've built a brotherhood around.
A lot of it's not just helping others, but over time you find out that a lot of it's helping ourselves. We get to hang out and have friends that we can hang out with, do fun stuff with, and make a difference. It does. When you get done with all this, we're a little sweaty, got some dust on us, but I mean, at the end of the day, we feel a lot better having been able to help someone and hang out with our buddies.
Yeah.
But if you're ever traveling, or if anyone ever moves out of state or even out of country, there's, I guarantee, a chapter in that area. There's 3 in North Carolina. There's a Western, an Eastern, and the Charlotte. There's 4 in Pennsylvania, like 7 in Florida. I mean, you can find Bearded Villains just about anywhere. And we do stuff. I mean, and every chapter does stuff every month.
Yeah.
There's always stuff going on, whether it's fundraising or an actual, like a laborious job to do. There's always something you can find. I mean, the Charlotte chapter does do a lot with veterans because we have a couple of veteran members. But also one of our veteran members works in tandem with another nonprofit for veterans called Warriors Always Rise. They do a lot with getting the medical services that veterans need, helping fund the medical services that they need. They do a lot with mental health retreats because of PTSD, depression, a lot of things that these guys are stuck with now that war is over. So we do what we can. I know in the years past, we've built awnings at a disabled veterans house. Last October, we raised over 10 grand for the nonprofit Warriors Always Rise. And, I know the VA isn't always the best, so we do what we can to help supplement a lot of that. So what we try to do is we kind of try and plan for the year in a sense of, hey, you 2 guys get February, you 2 guys get March, and so on and so forth. So they have that time ahead to look and see anything near where they live or any other nonprofits or any other events that could be going on. One of our guys who's not here today, he has a brewery up in Kannapolis that they do a lot throughout the year. So oftentimes we'll find ourselves helping out with that. He does a lot with veterans also, so like anytime we just see a need somewhere or hear about something or know that something's coming up, we'll try and plan for that, plan to attend, to help out any way that we can. If there's anything as far as tools or equipment or any other needs that need to be met, we try and facilitate that. Well, I know in a couple weeks we're all going up to Richmond, Virginia. The guys in the chapter there are hosting what we call the Dirty South Villains meet. A lot of the organization as a whole is worldwide. So a lot of us in our groups or areas, our regions will have events that kind of get passed around, from chapter to chapter in that region, like an East Coast meet, which we held last year, is the largest East Coast meet in the United States every year. But next month we'll be in Richmond raising money for the burn victims with the fire department. I know in August we'll be in Louisiana and New Orleans helping that chapter out. That'll be a world meet of guys from the entire world will be coming there in August. Every September with our buddies up in Kannapolis, we go out to the racetrack up in Concord. We do a 9/11 stair climb, raise money for that, whether it's money per flight of stairs we do or the money sponsored to just complete the stairs and stuff like that. Then, everyone's kids are always there passing out water, Gatorades. Once it starts to get colder in the year, we always do like a homeless outreach. We meet up in a parking lot, make a bunch of sandwiches, get bags of chips, reusable water bottles, gloves, hats, coats, anything we can manage to get, pack it all into bags, kind of walk around downtown Charlotte and help out who we can there.
We'll do a coat drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did do a winter coat drive just a few months ago. If you wanted to reach out to us on Instagram at Queen City Villains, you can message that if you have a need or if you have an event coming that you could use, and 12 extra hands for, by all means, let us know. We'd love to help anyone out. Like I said, we always try and plan our stuff out ahead, but if there's something that comes up and we know that we can make a big difference in it, we'll definitely put that on our calendar.
That's all for today, but it is important that we show our veterans and the organizations providing help for them the support that they need. For more stories about what good is being done in your local community, be sure to check out our website, wisenewsnetwork.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We'll be glad to see you there, and if you have any stories for us, be sure to leave it in any of our comment sections or by reaching out directly to our email, newsdesk@wisenewsnetwork.com. If you made it to this part of the video, drop down below and give us a like so we know you did. Until next time, this has been Mason Beam with the Wise News Network.